Hi there, I'm Marion. I'm an SEO consultant and a web designer. For those of you who don't know, you can find me over at www.marionledbetter.com or for our web design business, www.glasgowwebgeek.co.uk. I wanted to do a quick video today to talk to you about a Google change, an update that is going to affect your website rankings and your website security essentially. Google have announced that they are making a change so that come October the 1st, they will give preference to websites that have HTTPS over HTTP. Not only that, but websites who have HTTP will see a decline in their rankings, and when anyone tries to access or search for those sites using the Google Chrome browser, a warning message will flash up before they access the site to tell them that your website is not safe in the eyes of Google. So what is HTTP and HTTPS for those of you who don't know? Well, HTTP and HTTPS are the little prefix that come before the www part of your URL. So if you come over here to Amazon, you'll see it has the HTTPS. This essentially means that it is secure and it is safe to enter your details and to browse on the site. It used to be that you only needed HTTPS if you were an e-commerce store like Amazon or you collected people's private data. If you had a blog, very much like my SEO blog is, or just an online business, HTTP used to be enough, which is why the majority of websites out there will have just HTTP and are having to make the switch. So I'll show you what happens just now when you look at a site with HTTPS and without. So as you can see here, you click the little information and it tells you that it's a secure connection, everything's safe, and the little padlock is there. However, when you come over to a site that doesn't, now we're currently in the process of transferring all of our sites and some of our client sites, but we're going to leave mine to last so that we can do a video showing you how to transfer from HTTP to HTTPS. So over on mine just now, because it was always just a blog, if you click the little info, it comes up, connection is not secure. Your connection to this site is not private. Information you submit could be viewed by others, like passwords, messages and credit cards. That is the last thing that you want to see, and this message is what will pop up, not as a little warning that you have to click on, it will come up as a pop-up whenever you try to view an HTTP site on Google Chrome come October. That is the last thing you want. You don't want to see a dip in your rankings, and you certainly do not want to see a security warning like that flash up, because as soon as a potential customer sees that, trust is diminished and they are going to just close it down and go elsewhere. If you're sitting there thinking, oh no, my website's HTTP, don't panic, you're not alone. I did a search this morning for some of the top companies in the online industry, and very few actually have HTTPS. They're probably all in the process of changing as we speak, but I thought I would give you a little look. So if you come over to the people over at screwthe9to5.com, as you can see, it's not secure, they use HTTP. Marie Forleo uses HTTPS. Chris Carr doesn't, and neither does the FEA. As you can see, sometimes you'll get the little padlock with the score through it to show you that it's not secure. What does this mean for your website? Well, it essentially means if you're HTTP, you're going to want to make the switch to HTTPS come October. You do that by purchasing something called an SSL certificate. This can be bought from a variety of places, your domain registrar, your hosting company, and it has a range of prices depending on which SSL certificate you buy. There are several you can choose from. Secured Assurance is the most common, it is the one we will use, and it is the least expensive. Deluxe Assurance, Extended Validation, and Code and Driver Signing are the 4 options for you. Depending on which one you use, prices can range from $3.99 all the way up to thousands of dollars, though there are some domain registrars just now doing the transfer for free or including it as part of your, or some hosting companies including it as part of your hosting costs to ensure that as many of their sites are sorted as possible. And if you use a platform like Wix or Squarespace, most are automatically going to transfer the sites for you, but it will be worth contacting them to find out when they plan to make that switch, if they've done it already, to ensure that it is done before October, before your website is negatively impacted. So when you purchase your SSL certificate, you will then have to set it up onto your website, and once you have an SSL certificate set up, it basically tells your server tells them that it's safe to use. Basically, any information given is secure and it is all okay. You will be asked for certain details when you set up your SSL certificate. You will be asked for the name of the person using the certificate, which will be yourself, the certificate serial number and expiration date, a copy of the certificate holder's public key, and the digital signature of the certificate issuing authorities. Once you've provided all of these, it can take anything from a few hours to a few days to have your SSL certificate fully set up and your domain switched from HTTP to HTTPS. It can seem right now as if that is a lot of effort. Maybe you don't really know how to do it, or you just don't think your website really needs it. Maybe you don't think you get enough traffic just now. But what I will say is, anytime you give your website URL out, if somebody even just types it in, they will get on a Chrome browser, they will get that message. You may want to do SEO in the future. You have no chance of getting to the top of the rankings unless you have HTTPS. Google essentially wants to know that the connection from your site is secure, that all information transferred is encrypted. In their eyes now, HTTP isn't safe, HTTPS is. So you are going to have to make the change. Once you've made the switch to HTTPS, there are several things you will have to do to ensure that your website's previous SEO campaigns are not negatively affected. If you've spent any time building backlinks to your website, you are going to have to make sure that those links are transferred to the new version of your URL. Because basically when you switch from http://www to https://www, you are changing your URL, which means the links that you have built are going to a different URL. So there are some plugins available that can help you do that, or you can set up a canonical tag, which will say basically you want those links redirected from that URL to your new URL. Most CMS systems will do this automatically for you when you switch, but double check just in case. You'll want to update your sitemap on your website to ensure that it has the latest HTTPS version. You'll want to then crawl your website to search for any broken tags or link that will affect your rankings, because internal links, if you internally link between blogs, those will need to be updated too. You'll want to update your robot text file to include your new sitemap. And then you will also want to make sure you update all your external links, so your social media accounts, anywhere essentially you put your URL for people to come and visit your site, go and change it to its HTTPS settings. Once you've taken all of these steps, you'll have instantly improved your website ranking potential in the eyes of Google. It is an absolute no-brainer. Otherwise, your competitors with HTTPS, who do all of these steps, who follow all of Google rules, are essentially going to overtake you, and they're going to go up while you go down. And that is not what you want to do. The aim of this is not to try and cheat Google, it is to work with them for the benefit of your website. They're essentially saying that to give the user a better experience, they now demand all websites have HTTPS. And while it will take you a little bit of time and it will cost you a little bit of money to get it all set up, it will be worth it in the long run, not just for your website rankings, but also for the trust of having that secure setting on your site for anyone who comes to visit it. If you have any questions, feel free to pop them in the comment section below, and keep your eye out. We will record the video switching from HTTP to HTTPS either over the weekend or at the start of next week. And again, I'll put it on my Facebook page and then on my website for anyone who wants to watch a step-by-step of the switch. And I hope you all have a great weekend when it comes round. Thank you.